Okay, welcome to another tutorial looking at mechanics, and we're going to be continuing with the story. And in this story we spoke about this whole concept of linear forces and finding the resultants of those linear forces. Okay, and linear forces are acting in a straight line. We talked about space diagrams, then we talked about space diagram with free body diagrams and what that means. It's without the bodies. Now we're going to be looking again at resultants. So we're not stopping with resultants yet. Okay, so what other types of forces can we have? Well, I'm glad you asked. We have this other type of force system at play, and this force system is what we call a concurrent force system. Concurrent. Okay, so what is a concurrent force system? Well, a concurrent force system is when it's all acting around a single point, or there's a single point involved where all the forces intersect. And this is enables us to use other methods to find out what the resultant of these concurrent force systems are. I can actually spell forces. Okay, so let's do another space diagram. Okay, space diagram. And in this problem with this space diagram, I've got a couple of guys in tractors, and they're going to be, here's my tree stump, and they're going to be trying to pull out this tree stump. So I've got a guy going in this direction and another tractor going in this direction. And here's my tractor. Okay, there we go. You can see I didn't actually go to art school. Yes, that's pretty much horrendous. Anyway, if you can just use your imagination, that would be fantastic. If I say that this tractor's pulling 20 kilonewtons and this tractor's pulling 30 kilonewtons, and they could actually, or they should be pulling in the same direction to add their forces together, but they just had a fight. They're brothers and they just had a bit of a fight, and so they decide they're going to pull this thing in 90 degrees to each other. So here's the 90 degrees, and why don't we right now create from that a free body diagram where we have all the bodies taken out. Free body, I can spell diagram. Okay, what does that look like? Well, it sort of looks like this. We have this center spot, which we're going to say is the tree stump, and we've got 20 kilonewtons being pulled in that direction, and in this direction we've got 30 kilonewtons, and we've got 90 degrees just there. Okay, great. Everything's working well. So how the heck am I going to use that free body diagram to find out what a resultant is? Well, I'm glad you asked. We're going to create something new now, which is called a force diagram. So now we're going to be learning another type of diagram. So the first type of diagram that we learn is a space diagram. The next type of diagram that we learned is the free body diagram. Now we're learning about the force diagram. So we usually start off with 1, we go to 2, and finish with 3 as far as that goes. Alright, so this is what we have to do. We have to draw in our forces. So I'm going to write this down here. Forces, head to tail, or tail to head, the opposite way around. It doesn't matter. Alright, so what does that mean? Well, okay, with a force like this, we have what we would call the head of the force, and we have what we call the tail of the force. So I might as well just write those in so we understand. This is called the tail, and this is called the head of the force. And so when we draw it in, we're going to draw it in head to tail. Just going back to my black pen, and let's do it in. Okay, so we've got. Okay, so how do we do this? Well, we start off with one force. We choose any force, and there is methodology behind doing this, but I'm just going to make it really easy for us. And we start off with one force and work left. Doesn't even matter if you work right, it doesn't matter, but that's what we do. Okay, so we're going to start off with the first force, which is a 30 kilonewton force, and it's acting in the right direction. So I'm going to write that in, 30 kilonewtons. And the next force that we have acting is our 20 kilonewton force, which is just here. Okay, so we're going to draw that in head to tail, and that just goes directly up. And that's 20 kilonewtons acting in that direction. Alright, so what's our resultant look like? Well, our resultant is going to be, and see how we've drawn this in. Sorry, let me explain this. This is the tail, and this is the head, and this is the tail, and this is the head. So I've drawn it in head to tail. See, we've got the head here attached to the tail. I don't have the head to head, I don't have the tail to tail, I have the head to tail. And this is my resultant. My resultant goes like that, and the resultant will always be head to head. So a little bit of complication there, and this is going to be my resultant. I'm just going to represent that with an R. The other thing I've determined here is that this is at right angles. Okay, so that looks pretty familiar, doesn't it? I wonder what we could use to find out the resultant. Well, maybe we could use Pythagoras. That's a fantastic idea. So Pythagoras came up with this clever little formula. And the formula is the square of one side plus the square of another side equals the square of the hypotenuse. So if I was to draw out a triangle, and I would say that this is side A, this is side B, and the hypotenuse is C, and we can only obviously use that with right angle triangles, then we can find out what the resultant is. This is 101 mathematics, probably year 7, so let's punch it in. So I'm going to say 30 squared plus 20 squared equals, well, whatever C squared is. So let's have a look. I'm just going to clear that, and I go 30 squared plus 20 squared equals, and I'm going to square root that, chunk, and I end up with 36.1. Okay, so my resultant is going to be, sorry, that's resultant squared, so that's going to be, this is how we do it, I'll just write it out for you properly, and so that's going to be 36.1 kilonewtons. Now if I put kilos in, which I did, these are kilos, I'm going to get kilo out. If I put newtons in, I'm going to get newtons out. I could have actually taken the kilo out, but I just kept it in because it's easier. Alright, so that's the first thing we do, but the next thing that we need to find, and I'm going to use pink for this, I need to find what that angle is of the resultant. Now, you've seen this before, we're going to use a bit of trigonometry. Easy. What do we need to use? Well, I'm going to use tan. Tan theta, which is the angle, is 20 over 30. So think of this TOA. TOA is opposite over adjacent. This is our opposite, and this is our adjacent. Alright, and I went through that before. So this ends up looking like this. Tan theta minus 1, 20 over 30, and get our calculator out, and we're going to punch that in. Alright, clear. 20 divided by 30 equals inverse tan. Boom, straight away, there it is. So we've got 33, or say 34, 33.7, or round it off. So we go 33.7 degrees. Alright, we're not quite finished because we need to write in what the resultant is. So I do that like this. I go R equals 36.1 kilonewtons, and I draw in the direction that the resultant's going. You can see that just here. And so I draw in the direction that the resultant is going. I think I've gone overkill, it's a little bit big, and then I put in the degrees, what it is, and that is my answer. Doodle-doodle-doop, doodle-doodle-doop, jiggy-jiggy. Okay, and that's it, and that's how you represent the resultant of this very simple, well, maybe not over that simple, problem of two brothers who had a fight who decided to pull a tree stump out in the opposite direction, and that happens every day of the week in Australia. Alright, that's the end of this tutorial. Go on to the next.